Hey YouTube, so I got something different for my channel. Hopefully this review will help people out that are looking for this at purchasing this particular bike. This is a Priority Turi, I believe, T-U-R-I. This is, my dad ordered it and they shipped it to Alaska, and I just got done putting it together last night. And one of the issues I had with it is the front brake that I could not, the caliper wouldn't center. I couldn't get the rotor centered in the caliper. What you have here, you've got an adjustment bolt here and here, very standard, and it's slotted. So I loosened it up, and basically the entire caliper had to go further over, and there was not enough adjustment here. So what I did, it was so far off, I ended up putting a washer here, and then same thing in the bottom, I ended up putting it in a washer. Now, no big deal, really simple, easy fix. Just take these two bolts out, get the washer, and there's a spacer, put them back in, and now I have enough adjustment, and the rotor is now centered inside the caliper. I still have a tiny bit of rub. Hear that? It's ever so slight. Oh, come on, focus. Okay, can you hear that? It's just ever so slight, and I'm not going to chase it. I'll let my dad ride it around for a bit, and if it gets worse, then I'll go ahead and try to make another adjustment. Hopefully it just kind of beds in, and we don't have any issues. It's a unique bike. It's not, for my dad, it's going to be great. He's sick and tired of maintaining a chain. This is my first experience with a belt drive. It's pretty neat. So it's like kind of funny, there's no guard on the side, but you've got that spine down the middle, and then the belt has a groove, and that's what keeps the belt from slipping off. I just wrote, this is how much snow I have. So trying to ride around isn't, he lives in town, so he's got paved streets, so he'll be able to ride it around today. Beautiful sunny day. Anyhow, I rode around, I didn't really notice that, hey, this thing drags a lot or anything like that. It's quiet. I think it's great. He doesn't have to lube the chain anymore. I'm assuming it doesn't really, it's not going to get your pants all dirty. Kind of a neat system. He ordered a replacement belt for it in case this one wears out, and then you would take these bolts loose to separate the seat stay away from the chain stay, and then you'd be able to get the new belt, old belt off, new belt on. One thing I thought was really interesting, I had no, I didn't even know something like this existed, this Envelo rear hub. He was telling me, it had a, it shifted off the hub, so I'm thinking, oh yeah, it's not a new thing, I figured it was, you got your, like a grip shift here, I figured you would just shift it and you'd have your internal gears. Well, this thing is super weird. So when I first shifted it on my bike stand, I was like, what the hell, is the thing broken, the indicator? Well, look at this thing. Oops, let me get the pedal going so I can shift. It's got the little guy, and then when you're going fast, so it's got flat, so that's your high gear, and then you're starting to basically going up a hill or you need a lower gear, you just shift forward, a little guy climbing a hill, and then the pedaling gets easier. And what's crazy is there's no gear, there's no indents. It's not like your traditional cassette where you have your distinctive gears. This thing's just, between its range, however wide that range, which doesn't seem like it has a very wide range compared to all my other bikes, but it's infinite, so you can set it wherever you want. So that's kind of unique. The bike itself is weird. It's a combination of like to me, new technology, like with that, I guess they call it a CVT hub, constantly variable transmission hub, belt drive, which I guess isn't like new technology, but it's more modern than a chain. And then you've got current technology. You got hydraulic disc brakes, which are really nice. They look like Chinese knockoff of a Shimano type brake lever. They actually pretty strong. They don't work bad. I'm going to switch these because I hate how they have the front brake. They have the front brake here on the left side, and I don't like that. I'll switch the hoses for them. So I always want the front brake moto style here. My dad, he rides motorcycles. This is what we're used to, front brake, right side. So hopefully this doesn't cause me any problems. So pull these out. Get that off of there. This is just all I gotta do is unscrew that, and flip them around. And hopefully it doesn't cause anything to, that I get air in the system. Sometimes they look out, sometimes I gotta bleed them. So anyway, but so back to the bike. It's a weird combination of old technology and new technology. You know, when's the last time you saw this kind of stem? My bikes in the 80s had that, and in the early 90s. But then again, for the purpose of this bike, that's not a bad thing. You undo that bolt and you can raise the entire stem up and down. So it saves the owner from buying different stems with the threadless. You know, I've got a stack of them in my my garage, but most people don't. So that's handy. Oh, it's got a square. The bottom bracket is a square taper. That's just old school. What was the other things I noticed with it? The pedals are just your cheapo. They're Walgo pedals, just kind of cheap there. Yeah. So that was the big thing. So the other thing that's just a complete throwback, like a BMX bike. Well, actually, I don't even know what the new BMX bikes are like. I'm just thinking of mine when I was a kid in the 80s. And this is a bolt. The axle, you slip it in. You've got your little retainers here that hold it if you don't tighten the nuts up. But actually, that's really good because that's what my dad's used to. And so he's going to feel right at home on this. And it works just fine. It's just that I'm used to having a quick release, or my more modern bikes have a through axle that you use an Allen wrench that you just pull the whole thing out. So this was kind of a hassle to get it in there, but he's not going to be taking the front wheel on and off, so it doesn't matter. Works just fine. Same thing with the back. You got your two nuts there that hold everything on. Came with fenders. I don't know about this seat, but my dad might like it. I don't know. It's got like I don't know what kind of print that is. Anyhow, the grips are, I don't know if he's gonna like these grips. I think they're awful, but they're not soft. Who knows? Let's see if I can demonstrate this thing riding around. Oh, and here's the nice thing. It's got a center stand. So my dad's used to motorcycles, so I think he's gonna like that. So you don't have to worry about which side you have the bike, and then it's off the stand. Put your foot down on the stand. So I think that'll be easier for him. See if I can. I don't know if I can demonstrate this thing. So I'm in the lowest gear now. It's not particularly low. I mean, it's noticeable, it's just not as low as my other bikes. And then I want to go faster. You just keep spinning it. And I can definitely tell. You see the crank. Oh, look at doggy. And then let me spin to the lower gear. And I'm just going the same speed. So give me an idea. It's unique. Oh, and let me see. Let me try to get a video of the belt drive. It's quiet. So I can hear that front wheel. Here it's. But it's me hitting the brakes there. I just did that one-handed, put it on a kickstand. So I think it's gonna be great. My dad likes to ride his bike, does it for exercise. He's sick of dealing with chains, maintenance. Heck, this thing's about as low maintenance as you can go. I actually got him, well, I didn't get it for him. He ordered a single speed bike I picked out, and chain would start to stretch, and then it's actually the spike over here. And then he had issues, you know, trying to adjust it, and it's involved to slide the rear wheel back more than he wanted to deal with. And then look how filthy the chain is. Just, he rides flat terrain. He really doesn't need gears, but now he has the range, and he doesn't have to do a bunch of maintenance. So this is great. And it came with the fenders. He's not going to get all filthy riding. Right now it's springtime, spring breakup, and this is the first sunny day we've had in a week. It's gonna be a good day. I'll go take it into town for him so he can ride it around today. Okay, guys, that's all for now. Thanks for watching.